Well, I will admit, it's not entirely unpleasant seeing you again.
Congratulations, you look stunning. This is kind of like epic to be here. And thinking about the previous iteration to being here now, what is it like? What is the feeling?
I'm moved, I'm excited. I can't wait for the people to see the show. I think the people who waited for this would not be disappointed.
So this is Ayelet Zurer. She's Vanessa, Mr. Kingpin's wife in the Daredevil series. And you can stop now, phone. That's my Twitter going off because it's obviously quite the twitty-titty platform. Silence, agent! And anyway, folks, I promised you I was going to bring you a quick oversight of Daredevil Reborn, episodes 1 to 3. I finished watching episode 3 this morning, and I've got some thoughts, just generally about the collective episodes I've seen so far. So I'll give you a warning now, I'm dropping spoilers in this. I don't think some of you actually care if I gave you a spoiler-free review, because they're trying to build this as a big event series. I think when it first started in 2015, which is the reason why I subscribed to Netflix in the first place, that was an event because everybody was getting hyped up about the hyper-realism of the show, the hallway fight sequence, and they managed to top that so many times that I had a lot of skepticism coming back into this one, because again, you have to be. Marvel have actually foamed at the mouth. They've actually burnt fans' opinions online. And I think now we're going to wait and we're going to see, despite the supposedly bad ratings for this show, which doesn't surprise me. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? And where is my white cane? The one I like to spank myself with on occasion. Well, on that one, folks, without further ado, it's Anime Titty Friday. Oh, I look like Stevie Wonder. On New Year's Day, we celebrate. Anyway, let's get on with today's video, folks, because that's what you came here for. Isn't that correct? Yes, Jason, it is. I am the world's worst ventriloquist.
When it came through, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, how is that going to work again?
Watch this space.
So you're telling me that all I have to do is put my hands up like this and bounce? Right. And that's how I get 100,000 likes?
The next half hour. She brings you.
Daredevil Reborn. What do I think about this show? So I think it's okay. It's nothing mind-numbingly fantastic. It is not the second or third coming of Jesus Christ, if you want to put it into context. Some people online have said this is an absolute dogshit form to return. Others have said, can't believe I'm watching a Marvel TV show in 2025 because it feels like it's 10 years before that. And actually, I would say it's a bit of both. Now, the first episode, and I have to kind of... this is what I think, right? They want to draw you in. So what do we see? A fight between Bullseye and Daredevil. And how good is the choreography? It's okay, but it's overwrought, it's bloated, there's a lot of CGI thrown in. If you go back to the original Daredevil series on Netflix, by the way, that's more grounded, it's more real, it's more brutal, right? And again, what I'll say about the original series, and I'm going to say this till I'm just black and blue, maybe red in the face. It had the Martin Scorsese Mean Streets DNA all the way through it. There was a certain filter. It looked like 1970s Hell's Kitchen, right? Which is a very important fact to consider because, again, We have the stars of the show, but really the biggest star is New York. And thankfully, this series, this new iteration, is still filmed in New York. You can't cheap out and go to Canada and make us believe that's New York, because a lot of fans will actually call it out. So bonus points at least that they did that. But unfortunately, and I'm going to tell this to you now, it's very bizarre. In the first 15 minutes, Foggy Nelson gets shot by Bullseye. Why? We don't know, because Kingpin later on says, well, it has nothing to do with me, so don't point your fingers of blame at me. Okay, so Wilson Fisk, he's now running for mayor of New York, and one of his aides is the great Michael Gandolfini. That guy can do no wrong in my books. And he plays a bit of a goofy character that worships Fisk and is quite funny to watch. So he hasn't got many scenes at the moment, but I hope they do flesh out his character a bit more.
Getting my first text from the producer, I was driving and it said, "Welcome to the MCU." And like you see that and it's like, it just like hits you, you know, like,
Sweet.
and like I teared up and it's just like, oh my God.
So I will point out as well that Deborah Ann Woll, who plays Karen Page, I don't know if she hasn't acted in a while, because when she's grieving over the loss of Foggy Nelson, although you've had that relationship established in the original series, okay, or 3 seasons, here it feels rushed. In fact, a lot of what I've seen so far all feels rushed. I mean, in the 3rd episode, we got the trial of the White Tiger, Hector Ayala, and towards the end of that, he just gets shot dead. Everything that leads up to his courtroom trial, it just feels very rushed. I mean, it's 8 episodes. The original series on Netflix were 13 episodes each, which was perfect actually. You had a lot of time to flesh things out. And what's more concerning to me as a comic book fan is that there's not much of Matt Murdock as the Red Devil of Hell's Kitchen. That's what I paid money to see, Disney. I've got a funny feeling that that's going to set itself right after or from next week's episode, because people have said online that the first 3 episodes are just kind of plodding along, but after that, fans are going to get what they wished for. You got the crooked police officers in the 2nd episode that actually force Matt to go back to his violent ways. The way he dispatches them towards the end of that 2nd episode had me almost falling off my sofa in laughter, because it was brutal. It was like, oh my God, holy shit, he just did that? It was incredible. Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, he's great. He's not lost his touch. He's still the charming, effervescent guy that you know him to be. He's fantastic. His diner scene with Vincent D'Onofrio in New York is one of the best things I've seen, actually. Really, really good, because you got these 2 guys, hero and villain, talking to each other. But what it is, and I think they were trying to mimic Heat as well, with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino from Michael Mann. I got shades of that, not many, but that's just a thought that occurred to me while I'm filming this. So I appreciated that. And then towards the end of that conversation, you definitely see the true colors being revealed of Wilson Fisk. It's like, hey, you put that devil mask on again, I'm coming after you. That's what it is. And again, you know, up to the 3rd episode, it feels like a Paul Newman film, Absent Without Malice, I think is the movie I'm thinking of. It's more like a courtroom drama. It's more of Matt Murdock being a legal, right? If you remember that film with Robert Redford and Deborah Winger and Daryl Hannah back in the day. Do like that film, actually. So it's got those sort of elements creeping in. But now what I'm really curious about, one of the police officers that Matt Murdock has a scuffle with in episode 2 has a Punisher tattoo, and you see the iconic skull on his wrist. And then at the end of the 3rd episode, Hector Ayala is walking. Now, this bit was a bit stupid, actually. He's walking around New York as the White Tiger in the full uniform. I thought, bro, why are you doing that in in the dark. It's very silly. And of course, he's walking and walking, and it's such a badly telegraphed scene that just someone just walks out from the corner, boom, he's dead. He's not getting up from that again. And as he walks towards the camera, the assassin, he's got the iconic Punisher skull face on his uniform. Obviously, it's not the Punisher. It's just somebody trying to put him in a bad light. But I thought they might shy away from that because, of course, the Punisher now in Marvel Comics, you can't show that symbol anymore. A symbol that a lot of the military in the US, maybe the world over actually, the police force, they have endorsed that as a good luck charm, a mascot, if you like. So I thought that was a very good thing that they've done that. What I don't find very, I would call it a red flag at this stage, the executive producers behind the scenes, Kevin Feige's one, obviously licking his wounds because he was not involved with the Netflix show with Drew Goddard from 2015 to 2018. But his other companion or co-pilot is Sana Amanat, the Indian woman with the biggest chin on that side of the States. She's also an EP. Why? This is the same woman who got a degree, got herself into a job at Marvel Comics because, hey guys, I've got a pair of tits and I know all there is to know about comics. She doesn't know jack shit. And then a couple of years ago, she was being called out as somebody who was harassing male colleagues inside Marvel. And when they reached out for comment on Twitter X, that's other people who contacted her or contacted Marvel, guess what? They just kept tight-lipped, right? Yeah, we don't know anything about that. So it's all right if a man harasses a woman in that company and he gets called out, but when it's the other way round, oh, that's no problem at all. No, it never happened. It's almost like it's in a mafia code of conduct or misconduct in this case that's going around, which is absolutely, it is what it is, right? So Daredevil Reborn, episodes 1 to 3, have you watched them? Do you plan to watch them? I will say, yeah, watch it and don't feel elated. I don't see anything at the moment that would make me think, oh my god, we're getting back to ground level basics. But John Bernthal has not shown up as the Punisher yet. I think that'll be next week's episode, which will be number 4. So that could be good that he does show up. John Bernthal has said he'll only reprise the role if they don't make the character goofy. Oh, do you know the other thing I wanted to mention as well? Ayelet Zura as Vanessa. Vanessa, she came into my life again. It's strange that she goes from being a portrait galleria manager in New York, right, to a crime lord. She's running Kingpin's operations while he's mayor. I don't buy that. That's not her character. And I find it hard to believe that she's made that transition, if you like, into being this crime lord. She does everything by the book, but she does execute certain orders. Again, she's probably the one most likely for the death of White Tiger, although it's meant to be done through the eyes of Kingpin. I think she actually orchestrated that, perhaps, but at this stage, who cares? Whether fans actually care about this stuff and they want to talk about it ad nauseum, that's fine by me, but I just sat there as a guy with a critical eye thinking, not sure about this. But anyway, folks, as I was dressed for the occasion today, as opposed to being undressed like Alyssa McCante, I'll leave it to you to share your opinions and your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed this video today, make sure you give it a like, make sure you smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you catching me for the return of the next video.